Today we're going to start stamping our kindness flags. So you're going to get some ink and you're going to get a brayer, and this is all on a tray. I have picked out the word that I want to use for my design, and I've also thought a little bit about how I want to arrange that on here. So I'm thinking I'm going to make it look sort of like an X. So I'll put one here and one here, one here and one here. So that is my plan. Now my job is to get the ink ready to go. I'm going to dab this in just a little bit. I only take a little bit onto the brayer. I do not take all of the ink that's on the tray. I'm going to take that ink and I'm going to roll it in this other area. Do you see how I have to pick up my brayer and maybe even go in a different direction? My goal is to get a square of ink so that my brayer is completely covered. Now if you look at this, as I rotate it around, do you see any white areas? Nope, that is covered in black. Now listen to the ink. Do you hear how that sort of sounds like Velcro? That is what we want to hear. If you don't hear that Velcro, then the ink is not quite thick enough. So you won't get enough ink to get a nice black word. Now that I have this on here, I'm going to take my brayer and I'm going to roll it onto the stamp. Do you notice how the ink only goes on the parts that are sticking up? The parts that the fifth graders carved down do not get any ink. I'm going to go over that a couple of times. I'm going to actually get more ink. Still hear that Velcro sound? You do. And now I am ready to print. I'm going to flip this over so that this metal part is on the tray. That keeps the tray cleaner. And then I'm going to slide this over so you can see what I'm doing. On top of the newspaper, I'm going to put my first one. I'm going to lift it up and sort of put it, decide where I want it. It's not touching the paper yet. And then once I get it where I like it, I set it down and I give it a push. I'm kind of pushing pretty hard on it and maybe even giving it a bit of a wiggle. See how the whole paper is moving right now? I want to make sure that I have a lot of pressure on this to transfer the ink onto the paper. And there we go. I have my first print. Now if I want to do another one, I can't just put it back on here. It's going to be light, so I need to go back over here and ink it up again. I still hear Velcro. I'm going to reapply. Now I notice that my little pattern here is getting a little bit smaller, so I'm going to add a little bit more ink. Even though I hear Velcro, I want to look for a texture on there too, sort of like an orange peel. Make it even and then ink it one more time. Now I'm ready to print. I apply it and press it down. There we go, print number 2. I'm going to do 2 more and then see what I think.